COVID-19 had a huge effect on the real estate industry, and there was a big drop in listings from March through May. But the market has rebounded, and typically when there's less inventory, there's greater demand. Here are 5 things sellers should consider during the time of COVID. Hi, I'm Andrew Scannell. This is Life.0, and here are 5 things sellers should consider during the time of COVID. Number 1, virtual tours. It's essential for sellers to realize that buyer behavior has changed. Call it the Amazon effect. Over time, virtualization has deferred the point at which a real estate agent is necessary in order to view a property. In the old days, buyers needed to contact an agent just to see a property at all. Maybe there was one photo with an advertisement. Then properties were listed online, and buyers needed to contact an agent to actually see the property, see the inside, walk around. They could see photos online, but it's not the same as walking through a property. Now, with the advent of virtual tours, buyers can literally tour through a property, looking around, looking at different places, spending as much time as they want. They can also share that tour with family, friends, get different people's opinions on it. If you wanted someone's opinion on a property, they could be on the other side of the world and they could still essentially tour the property with you. This is essential for sellers to realize and to take advantage of. Having a 3D tour will ensure that buyers who do schedule showings are seriously interested, and the seller and the seller's agent can dedicate more time to serious buyers rather than those who are just seeking to get a feel for the market. Also, when all initial showings are virtual, it means fewer disruptions for a seller. If you're a homeowner with young children, it can be a lot of work to prepare for an open house or a showing. Having a virtual tour minimizes the number of visits necessary when you're selling your property. Due to the lockdown, more buyers than ever are sitting at home in front of their computer. And inevitably, if you're sitting in front of your computer, you're going to start surfing things. It's just human nature. Virtual tours such as Matterport 3D tours are mind-blowing. They're the new listing photo. Take advantage of it. Don't be left behind. Number 2, the ability to do in-person showings really depends on the living situation of the property you're selling. During the lockdown in my area, in Greater Boston, it was literally basically illegal to show tenanted units. If you lived in the property you were selling, it was a bit easier, but it was up to you if you wanted to have a lot of strangers through your property. The easiest situation was, and is if your property is vacant. In Boston, we've seen a relaxation of the showing of tenanted units, but the tenants still have the final say as to whether or not to allow showings. So if you have a property you're looking to sell that has tenants, you'd be well advised to be good to them right now. Hopefully you are anyway. And if you're living in the property you're looking to sell, it's up to you and your comfort level in allowing potential buyers into the property, which is another reason why virtual tours are so useful right now. Also, we have new forms that we have the buyer sign prior to entering the property that state that they don't have symptoms of COVID and that they will not hold the seller liable should they get the virus. Number 3, the market. Dun, dun, dun. COVID-19 has been a health crisis, not so much a housing crisis for sellers. Nationally, at the end of June, the inventory of homes for sale was down 26% from the same week a year before, which actually was a huge improvement from mid-April when it was down nearly 50%. These new listings are selling fast, with 47% going off the market within the first 2 weeks, the fastest rate seen since 2012. Pending sales the week of June 21st nearly returned to 2019 levels, down only 3% year over year. Completed home sales for the same week were down 12% year over year, but that should catch up as the pending sales that are still going right now will close in late July, early August. The majority of offers are seeing multiple offer situations as home buying demand outpaces new inventory on the market, and that is good news for sellers. Mortgage applications are up 17% from the same time a year ago, as interest rates have dropped below 3% for the first time ever. One interesting note is that showing requests are actually up year over year, but that probably has more to do with the fact that there aren't as many open houses for buyers to go to, so they need to schedule a showing in order to see a property, unless they go to a virtual tour. Virtual tours will not replace in-person visits. Everybody wants to see a property normally before purchasing it. But they do allow buyers to visit and revisit a property again and again and fall in love with your property. Number 4, property preparation, staging, and photography. Decluttering and staging a property have never been more important, especially with the use of 3D tours. These 3D tours reveal everything. I remember one time I was selling a house, and it was a beautiful house, and totally beautifully prepared, flowers, decluttered, everything. And I did a 3D tour for it, and I left a sponge in the sink. And with a 3D tour, you can look down in the sink and see the sponge, and it just stuck out like a sore thumb. So I had the 3D tour guy come back because it really kind of ruined the whole experience. A property needs to shine at its best in its online presentation. You can't rely on the property having this fantastic charm that can only be experienced upon an actual visit. You may not reach that point if you don't present it in a beautiful light. Also, there are many eager buyers out there, but there are also many who are in no hurry. Everyone is experiencing the uncertainty of these times. 30-year fixed-rate mortgages just went below 3%, but some buyers are saying, maybe I should wait until it goes to 2.5%. The point is buyers are being selective and they're being extra careful with their money. Not to mention, the overall buyer pool has reduced. Many eager buyers have been unwillingly pushed out of the market. So sellers need to go the extra mile to make a positive and compelling first impression. Number 5, don't overprice your home. Now, I know, the real estate agent's trying to give away the farm. Buyers are clamping down on their finances, and they're less willing to go way above asking price with an offer. Buyers are wary of stretching their budgets, and they have concerns that the virus will slow appreciation of home values. Properties are still seeing multiple offers, but now is not the time to be cavalier in your pricing, nor is it the time to significantly underprice the property expecting a bidding war to push it way over the asking price. It's best to determine the reasonable market value of your property and price it there. If it's a compelling property, if there's interest, if the market is truly strong, as it seems it is, then the market will take the price to where it should be. The key is to not squeeze out interested parties by way overpricing the property. Number 6, get personal. Consider getting a bit more personal with the marketing. Given the scope, the severity, the kind of shared experience that we've all had with this virus, I think sellers should consider adjusting the language in their marketing of their property to impart a sensitivity to the unique situation that we've all been going through. What do sellers and buyers have in common? We're all human beings, except for iBuyers, of course, who are scary computer robots that were designed to destroy humanity by those evil scientists. I know George Soros is behind this. In your marketing language, consider acknowledging the strangeness of this moment and getting a bit more personal. Tell the story of the home from your own perspective. Obviously, if it's an investment property, it's not exactly a wonderful bedtime story to hear about how much rent you got from a property. But if it's owner-occupied, tell the story of the house. I think buyers would appreciate this level of authenticity. People have been experiencing isolation. People are craving a human touch, a human interaction, something true and personal. Buyers often write letters to sellers when they're making an offer, and why shouldn't a seller write a letter to a buyer telling them their personal experiences with the property and what they loved about it and the little things that you don't realize about a property until you've been sitting in that room for a month and living in it for a few years. But, you don't have to. It's fine. You could also tell a story about me and how awesome of a real estate agent I am, but, whatever, you don't have to. I don't care. Bonus lucky number 7. Be patient. Most of the time, sellers want to close sooner rather than later. Of course, sometimes sellers will have their own situation. They need to find new housing. They want to buy a new place. And by the way, I'm going to be posting another video soon on how to buy and sell a property at the same time, which can be a bit tricky. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, generally speaking, sellers usually want to close sooner rather than later. But in this new COVID reality, sellers should be a bit more flexible in their expectations of timelines. The lending process is taking longer. 30-day closings can still happen, but it's kind of tight right now, and jumbo loans are definitely taking longer. Delays are happening in all the various components of real estate, so I would just encourage sellers to be a bit more patient in their expectations of the timeline of closings. Also, I would strongly encourage you not to have a closing for a sale of a property and a purchase of a property on the same day if you're requiring one to do the other. It can be very concerning right now. Okay, there you go. There are 5 things sellers should consider in the time of COVID. Long story short, right now, it's a good time to be a seller, so don't freak out. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me that good old-fashioned, all-American apple pie, like and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Tell me your deepest, darkest secrets in the comments below. Or just tell me you love me. I need love. Okay, I'm not gonna get worked up. Thank you very much. I'm Andrew Scannell. This is Life.0. Now you know, and that's the show. Peace.